Hey everyone, it's Terry Vanover with Choosing to Rise, and I'm a divorce strategist and I help you heal from your toxic relationship. I help you come from divorce and learn how to heal from the trauma of divorce so that you can go forth and have a happy, healthy new relationship and a happy new chapter in your life. So today's topic that we're going to be talking about is some tips for healing from a toxic relationship. Now, this has been a big, hot button issue. We had a meeting last week, and I'm having another meeting next week. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up for it. It'll be some live question and answers. So please make sure you follow me and that you sign up for our group meeting next Wednesday, as well as some of the tips I'm going to share here today. But also, if you have any questions, you can join us next week. So we're going to be talking about how to heal from a toxic relationship. Well, why is it even important? Well, the thing is, once you've had a toxic relationship, you are more than likely to repeat it unless you do something drastic to change why you're attracting these people, what it is about you that gets you into these relationships over and over and over. If you have one divorce, the chance of you having a second divorce is now up to 70%. So it is so vital that you do something to do this, so that you change this, so that you can go and have healthy, happy new relationships. And listen, so that your children don't repeat this. I can tell you that 99% of my clients come from really unhealthy relationships. It's because it's what their parents modeled for them, and so they bring that up into their adult relationship. So it's all that they know. So if you are not doing something to change this, the chance of you repeating the pattern are very great, but your children will repeat the pattern as well. So, my first tip is, and it can be a hard one for some people because it's about taking responsibility for your role in the relationship. Now, listen, it's not a blame game. I'm not blaming anyone. It's not about accusing anyone. But I will say that if you take responsibility, perhaps for where you didn't show up for yourself in the relationship, that you're no longer a victim. You're no longer a victim to your ex. You're not a victim to your circumstance. So if you can take accountability for your role in the relationship, maybe you were a people pleaser and you weren't always honest with yourself, and you let your voice stay down in the relationship. Or maybe you were so strong in the relationship that you weren't able to allow real intimacy and allow people into your heart. And perhaps you had brought your childhood trauma into your relationship and didn't recognize that this was creating distance, preventing you from being really, really close to your partner, or your communication style wasn't as it could be. So taking accountability for yourself, it's not about blaming anyone, but what it is about, it's about giving you back your voice. When you're taking responsibility, the first thing is, hey, you can do something about it. You can change it. You're no longer a victim to your circumstance. And it gives you the power to change it and the power to have a voice in this and prevent it from happening in the future. So it's actually a very empowering process. You're no longer a victim to it. The second thing that I'd recommend, and I've done a lot of videos on this recently, so if you haven't checked those out, I talk really extensively about consciously surrendering. And I know that sounds really woo-woo, but it is so true. If right now I've got a challenge going on too, where if you just sit for an hour with yourself and just consciously surrender to what is, consciously surrender to the feelings that you have, you will be really surprised what comes up for you. So if you want to heal from a relationship, you have to learn to get still with. Many people resist this. Why? because the truth is they don't love themselves, they don't like themselves. There's so much chaos in their brain, they can't even just sit and be with themselves. Or what happens is when you sit and you're with yourself, the pain starts to rise. And so many people just stuff that pain down and they don't want to deal with the pain. But the great news is once that pain comes out, you can release it. When we bring things out of the shadows and into the light, it no longer has power over us. And allowing what is it is a layered process. And I have actually gone back to my meditative process myself for a much longer time. I'd gotten out of the practice for doing it for an extended amount of time, and I was really surprised at what some of the stuff that was coming up that I thought that I had resolved. And I think I had superficially had resolved it. And so bringing empowering, I was like, oh, now I see why I was keeping myself small. And also recognizing some ways that you can heal. And I invite my clients all the time, hey, this is how you feel on the surface. I want you to get still with yourself. And I say, go beneath that. Go below that. What's beneath that? What's underlying that? Are you feeling insecure? Are you feeling unsafe? What do you need? Do you need to feel validated? Do you need to feel secure? Because oftentimes there's so much chaos in our brain that we need to just sit still and get in tune with our heart and with our feelings and with our body, and consciously surrender to that and see what comes up and see what comes out into the light. And once it's out into the light, the amazing thing is then you can heal it. It no longer has power over you. It's those shadow things. It's those things that lie in the darkness that have the power over us. I always say, you're only as sick as your secrets. And once those things get brought out, in a sense, you can release it. And the third thing that I want you to do to heal from a toxic relationship, and this is probably where I get the most pushback, and this is where I probably get the most, especially online, to those people that don't understand what forgiveness is. And it's practicing the act of forgiveness. And yeah, I said forgiveness. And you can call it letting go, whatever you want to call it. And I have a specific template that I got from Jack Canfield on this exercise of forgiveness, and it is powerful, this act of forgiveness. And let me tell you, it's not about, so the reason why I get so much pushback from it is because people think it's about the other person. It's not about the other person. It is about, it's a gift you're giving to yourself. It's about releasing toxic feelings that someone else may have given you. Maybe you didn't have the choice, that someone else gave you these feelings or did this act to you, but you have the choice of whether you want to carry those feelings around anymore. It's akin to like when you say, I don't want to forgive him. He destroyed my life. That's like saying, I don't want to give away this terrible turd that I'm carrying around. I want to carry it around. And I've been there. I've resisted forgiveness myself in my life. I heard that, like, wait, around carrying this turd around for, because it's not for me, right? This is not hurting that other person. This is just hurting me because I'm holding on to the poison. I'm holding on to the dirty turd, right? So by consciously forgiving, it's allowing me to release those feelings. It will allow you to release the toxic emotions that maybe someone gave to you. But you do have the choice of letting it go. So I have a specific exercise that you do. It's a whole template on uncovering the emotions behind it, what's unresolved, how to let it go, and how to specifically forgive. So if you want that, please reach out to me. I'd love to give it to you. So listen, if you are struggling, if you are full of self-doubt and you're always second-guessing yourself and you lack the confidence and you lack the strength, if you're a people pleaser, if you are the nice guy that isn't attracting the kind of partner that you really, really want in this life, reach out to me. I'm happy to message you and talk to you about how you can heal from a toxic relationship so that you can find the love that you deserve. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next week. Hopefully how to heal, a longer meeting with more tips on how to heal from a toxic relationship. All right, otherwise, find me on Facebook. I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Terry Vanover.